What's up, guys? It's only 10:30 and it's already been an extremely busy morning. And there's been a lot of negative news here in Philadelphia this morning for Philadelphia sports. And I'm just going to break down what happened, break down my thoughts. I'm not going to lie, I'm not happy right now. So I guess let's go with the best news of the morning. Chuck Fletcher got fired as the GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. We knew it was coming after he didn't make any trades their deadline or any meaningful trades at the deadline last week. My problem is they just bring back Danny Briere, who's just another Chuck Fletcher disciple. So I don't know if the Flyers are actually heading in the right direction or not still. But out of all the news we got today, that's probably the best news. Um, not too much. I really care about the Flyers right now. I guess this is a step in the right direction. Um, but I still don't trust the way this organization's ran. Why was he fired today and not a week and a half ago so they could have actually made some trades and try to rebuild this team? Who knows the Flyers? I mean, seriously, the Flyers are just a dumpster fire at this point, and it's embarrassing. Flyers are an embarrassing organization when you have your own fans are doing a protest outside the stadium. Um, it's sad. It is. It's sad. But yes, Chuck Fletcher being gone is decent news. But I'm not real excited. That Danny Briere is now the GM. I don't think Danny Briere is going to change this at all, and I can almost guarantee you that Danny Briere will be the full-time GM after the season's over. I don't trust the way this organization's ran one bit. It wasn't all on Chuck Fletcher. It starts with the owner of Comcast. Comcast owns the Flyers and puts all these bullshit policies on here with Dave Scott, and they're still a dumpster fire. So maybe this is a little bit of good news, but for me, it's not super great. Um, let's go to the next one. Ranger Suarez was pulled from the World Baseball Classic due to some forearm tightness. And, this sucks. We really needed a healthy Ranger Suarez to start the season, especially considering, like, you have a really good top three, but Walker isn't a great fourth starter. He's good, but he's not great as a fourth starter. And you don't know who your fifth starter is right now because I'll get to that in a little bit. But the rotation's a little bit of shambles right now with the Phillies. Hopefully it's just forearm tightness and he'll be pitching next week. They just didn't want him to hurt anything in the World Baseball Classic. But it worries me slightly. It does. We really need Ranger Suarez, man. We struggled, and that's when the Phillies really started to get going last year. Is when Suarez started pitching well. Yes, it was right when Thompson took over as the manager, but you look at Suarez's stats before then; it weren't great. And he didn't get here. He got to camp late last year with visa issues with and Gregory Soto went through that same thing this spring training, but he's finally here. Um, yeah, yeah, Ranger Suarez pulled from the World Baseball Classic. Not great news there either. And to more pitching news, Phillies top pitching prospect in all of baseball, Andrew Painter, has a UCL injury. They said it's a sprain, a slight tear. He's going to rest for a month before he begins pitching again. Honestly, I would shut him down for as long as you can. Make sure that thing is 100% healed. Because if you bring him back in a month and within game 2 or 3 he tears that UCL and then he's out for the rest of the year, that's a big year of development lost there. I don't think Andrew Painter was going to make the team out of camp anyway. I know he's pitching really well, but I think they wanted him to develop a little bit. And but the only way for him to develop is for him to continue pitching. If he's not pitching, he's on the bench. It's not great. So you also don't want him having to rehab a full torn UCL and not having that same velocity he once had. This one is some real. I'm almost glad it wasn't a torn UCL right away, but I'm also more worried that okay, if he does tear it fully next time he comes out, then it's a whole month of rehab he lost. You could have just had that whole month of rehab there where maybe he gets back by the start of spring training next year. But now you're looking at, okay, he might not get back until April, May next year, and that won't be in the majors. He'll be trying to rehab his way back up through the minors. Um, yeah, it's like I said, it's been a tough morning with Philly sports news. I'm sure there's still more I'm missing right now. Refreshing Twitter as much as possible right now. You know, and here's the next bit of news, and this may be the worst news of all. Darius Slay requests a trade from the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to say I'm extremely surprised over this. It seemed like him and Denard Wilson had a big bond. It's him being his secondary coach there, and after he left and didn't get the defensive coordinator job, I'm assuming Darius Slay probably was advocating for him to get the job pretty heavily, and he did not get the job. This is all speculation, by the way. I'm not 100% sure on this or not, but I also think they were probably trying to restructure the contract to get some money under the cap so they can sign guys like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Javon Hargrave, James Bradbury, and extend that guy named Jalen Hurts. I think they just it wound up being too much for Darius Slay. And Darius Slay hasn't been traded yet, so they may be able to work something out here. But this is a this is going to be really, really interesting for this defense because they're going to have to completely rebuild this defense. And I'm not even sure what the trade market is here for Darius Slay. I'm thinking like maybe a third round pick. Like that's what you gave up to get him a couple years ago. But is he still that? I think he's still as good as a player, but he's also older, and he still wants that. He still wants a mega contract. He probably wants an extension right now. So I'm really, really concerned about this whole situation with the defense in general now because you already had 10 free agents as it is. Now you're losing your other corner. You have two corners that may be going now with Bradbury's a free agent right now, and you got Darius Slay requesting a trade. Then you got two linebackers who are free agents. You got two safeties that are free agents. You got multiple defensive linemen who are free agents. You got a lot here that you have to rebuild on defense, and I'm not sure how you do it. I'm not sure if they're going to go with a complete rebuild or just patchwork again. Do you just try to get younger on the defense and try to build through the draft? That may be what they try to do. It's with how young the offense is. Besides, Kelsey and Johnson are towards the end of the career. The rest of the offense is really young. So maybe this is something they're going to do, try to do a little retool here. They tried to go for it last year and try to win the Super Bowl, but now they're going to try to retool and do as much as they can to get back to that elite defense, but a young defense where they can, create a dynasty or a team that's good for years to come. That could be the goal here. I don't know what Howie Roseman's thinking now. I think Howie Roseman is really trying to get Slay restructured and try to get this defense back to where they were last year. But now things have changed, and it's going to be different with this team. This has been a tough morning, and I'm sure we're going to have more news here to come. Some people are calling it a slight tear for Painter, and some are calling it a little bit of a sprain. So we'll see with Painter. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Give it a like, subscribe, anything possible. Thank you guys. Kind of hot. Peacing out. I'll see you guys soon.